Good morning, everyone. And we're looking at the 15-minute chart on XAU USD gold. And the Indochina market, Shanghai and Singapore just opened at 8 a.m. Indochina time in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, South. And we're just waiting to see what the market is going to do. It started, took out yesterday's high just slightly in the beginning with the opening of New Zealand market, and then it's started coming down. So I'm just going to go over and look at the 4-hour chart right quick, and we're still bullish on the day chart, and we are neutral on the 4-hour chart. Bullish on the day chart and neutral on the 4-hour chart. It was bearish yesterday on the 4-hour chart until we saw the end of the New York session before the New York session. During the New York session, they blasted it up to higher prices, getting up to 44.80, around in that zone, 44.80, a low of 47 during the day. And just go back and look at yesterday and see when Asia opened yesterday, it started initially. This is the same candle, the 8 o'clock opening of Singapore. One candle going up, but that was just a fake out. And then it just went down for the entire day until the European session opened, and then London took it sideways. Did any of you guys get in on this Asian session yesterday, this big downward move? And then London took it the previous day's low in 44.07 before the New York session opened up, and then New York session opened right in here. They took it up even higher, dropped off a little bit, and then went even higher before the close of the U.S. session. So what's that telling us here? We had 2 days of just one big liquidity grab by the institutions knocking out. Everybody's been buying, buy gold. And then the institutions and central banks and fund managers come in and knock out all the stop losses from everybody, all the pending orders, grabbing that liquidity. Once they got all that liquidity back in the market, then they start to move gold back up. That was a move that you can expect. Of course, we don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's fairly reliable. So continuing to be bullish on gold with expected higher prices. Now we're looking at the Asian market and see what it's gonna do. Looks like it might continue down for a while. Got a couple of people watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you took that trade yesterday on the Asian market. This is my first few days back after Christmas and New Year's holiday, and just getting a feel for the market, letting it kind of settle back into regular routine. and then next week will start to be more normal, I expect. So on my I don't know if I'll take a trade today or not. I don't think so because if this breaks the upward trend line, then that means I would go short. That would put my stop loss way up here, and that's quite a big stop loss. 7 from yeah, that's over a 300 pip stop loss. So I'll just let this trade go. If this is gonna continue down and it'll be a short trade for me, I won't take that trade. That's too much of a stop loss. That's how my trend line strategy works. I have the upward trend line here and then the downward trend line here, and if it breaks the upward trend line, then I would go short and put my stop loss above the grid line, which would be the safety line, but that's too far away. I would prefer to see it over in this area here and have about maybe a 100 stop loss. That would be acceptable. And of course, if it breaks the red trend line, the downward trend line, and goes up, then I would go long, and I put the stop loss below my reach or within the safety line. Right now, this looks like no trade setup. I need to wait for something better. This blue line here is the pivot point for the day, which is kind of a magnet where it will go to and either break below that and continue down or bounce off of that and start back up. Quite a bit of bearish momentum at the moment, but I never do anything before this first candle will close. It's a 15-minute candle, and I always wait till the candle will close before I would even consider to take a trade based on what I see. And this yellow line here is the first line of support, and then we have resistance a little bit up above that right there. First line of resistance. That's from the previous price points that you see back in history, and these are the previous price points we had yesterday, this support resistance line here. Big downward move so far, but I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna get, all excited about this. This is not a good trade setup. Too big a risk, stop loss. Just look over at oil and see what oil did yesterday. I was thinking about trading oil, but I don't know. My broker has a big spread. Don't know if that's gonna be worth it. Just readjust my trend lines here for today. Oh, that one can go. Not any use anymore. And we'll adjust this one here, my downward trend line over to that. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Don't like to look even consider trading oil in the Asian market, although sometimes, like you see, it's $59, 58.5. Now starting down again. And we'll look at silver. No, look at platinum first. Whoa, what's going on? I haven't adjusted my lines here for a while. couple of days. There we go. That looks better. Might just adjust this one here, come in a little bit steeper on that one. And then silver. I don't trade silver. Do have a couple of trend lines on it though. And I don't have an upward trend line because I do a monthly top down analysis starting with the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. And I haven't gone back and got the previous low on the monthly chart. So I don't have an upward trend line yet on this chart. I'm not trading silver. And then copper, oh, I haven't adjusted the lines there for a while either. That one's not valid anymore. And this one here, we can change that one. Copper. Oh, that one's not valid anymore. Yeah, it's been several days since I adjusted these. Okay, that looks better. Now, if you come a little bit steeper here on this one, I believe. Yeah. And then come a little bit steeper on the downward trend line also. That looks pretty good. Just change the color of that though. Okay. If I was trading these, then that's what I would do to set up my chart. And Bitcoin, oh my goodness. Oh, Bitcoin not doing anything. Still trading around 90,000. Oh, it dropped down quite low yesterday, 89, a little bit. Go back to our gold chart here. So this, oh, look at that. Glad I didn't chase that first candle, but it might close below the trend line, but I'm not going to take that trade. It's too much of a stop loss there. So let me know where you're watching from. Leave a comment in the chat. Don't forget to like and share. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And I'm here every day for the opening of the Singapore and Shanghai markets. Shanghai has a gold exchange similar to London, so sometimes you get some big moves in London. And during the Asian session, which lasts until the London session, then you do set the liquidity for the day, the high and the low for the day. And then London and New York will oscillate one way or the other based on that. So I look at the Asian session for sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours. Sometimes I can get a good trade if I've got a reasonable risk management stop loss. But this week I haven't had a good trade on the Asian market. Yesterday would have been good, but I didn't take anything there. That was too much of a stop loss again. Just wondering if anybody took that bearish move in the Asian market yesterday. Let me know in the chat. And then I'm also here in the opening of the New York session just before Wall Street opens, a few minutes before Wall Street, and then I stay around for about 45 minutes and let's see the direction that Wall Street's going to take it. And yesterday I did have one good trade in there. Oh, move my trend line out of the way. Yesterday I had one good trade in there, and that was on this candle here. Before the Wall Street opened, I saw that this was going to be moving up, so I took two small trades, took one trade and then added to it a little bit and had a good 50 pip profit on that one there. And the news came out last night. If you were watching the news on forexfactory.com, we had the unemployment claims, and it was good news for the U.S., so that put pressure on gold. And gold came down, then went back up, and then the next candle came down again. So we had 30 minutes of a negative reaction to gold, and that's all you usually get with that kind of news. It's a knee-jerk reaction. After about 30 minutes, then the currency or the commodity will go back to what it was doing before the news came out. That's why I don't like to trade the news. Unless it's some real high impact news like the change in the interest rate, and perhaps the non-farm payrolls. And by the way, let me just go over and look at the calendar. This is forexfactory.com, and this is what we have coming up today. Friday, January the 9th. Two items on the Canadian economy. That's the employment change, and it's expected to be not very good. Wow, the forecast is really very negative. And the unemployment rate is expected to, it's forecast that it will increase from 6.7. It's expected to go, the previous one was 6.5%. It's expected, forecast of 6.7%. So really high unemployment in Canada. And then the ones we're concerned about, if you trade gold, that's the US dollar. And you see, we have here the non-farm employment change. That's the highest watched news item for Forex traders. And there's only a slight difference between the previous 64K and the forecast of 66K. So I'll be watching that. That's an hour before the Wall Street opens at 8:30 p.m. Southeast Asia, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's a big mover and shaker. And we got the unemployment rate comes out at the same time. And this is usually the first Friday of every month, but last week was the 2nd of January, so long weekend holiday, so they moved it to this Friday. And then next month it should be coming out on the first Friday of February. So be watching for that, guys. Check forexfactory.com for your local times. Be sure to keep your eyes on that. That can sometimes really move the market. Now go back to the gold chart. And it looks like we're continuing our downward movement. Maybe at a big pin bar, big wick on this first candle. But the second candle there, the 815 candle, looks like it's also bearish. Just finishing off my cup of tea. That's the first thing I have every day. Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue. Yeah, I would love to have taken this trade. I would, but it's just too much of a stop loss. I would put my stop loss way up here at 44.86, and this is right now at 44.56. That's a 300 pip stop loss. No way, no way. I'm going to take that much of a risk. So if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. If you're in the Asia region, Australia, New Zealand, or maybe over in Latin America, or the United States, or you, wherever you are in the world, get people from all over the world watching. We had a big following at the end of last year before Christmas and holidays, and now just a few people joining in, but this will build as we get started with this year's trading. 2026 is going to be a great year. I really like the strategy that I'm using. Very happy with it. It's the same strategy I used for the entire year of 2025. It works very, very well. Can be used, on any time frame. You choose the time frame you're happy with. Can be used on any currency or commodity, but I recommend you only trade 1 or 2 assets so you can stay focused and build a relationship with the asset so you get to know it very well. And it's a very simple strategy, easy to set up, easy to understand. If it breaks below the upward trend line, we go short. If it breaks above the downward trend line, we go long. But then you have to consider the risk management factor. What kind of a stop loss are you gonna have? Now, if I wanted to take this trade, then I can do a 0.01, a micro lot, but, it would really you only make, 10 cents on 1 pip, so that doesn't interest me at all. I'd rather just wait for another better trade setup, and it will come. Another better trade setup will come later in the day. We just have to be patient. This is what we do as traders, wait. Don't chase candles. And I am starting another strategy this year. I've been working on something over the holidays to do with, fair value gaps and liquidity grabs, and I'll just show you very quickly what that chart looks like. It's a different chart. This is yesterday. And I marked the Asian session here up until London opens. The Asian high and the Asian low. It's changed now because we've already adjusted it for today. And then using an indicator that shows the liquidity grabs, which you can see we had one here and then got a big move up, quite a few pips on it, for about an hour there. But you've got to mark your previous day highs and lows and your Asian highs and lows. It's a little bit more involved with this strategy, putting together some slides, and I will be teaching this very, very soon, and perhaps offering it as some free instruction. Go back to my other chart that I'm using now, the trend line chart. Yeah, I'll be teaching the fair value gap and liquidity grabs. I already have a free course on my website, rickreagan.com. If you're interested in looking at it, it's about a 10 video tutorial, and it's a basic setup where I go through all of MT4, how to set it up, use all the functions and features. Then we look at how to take orders, how to do buy and sell, how to place pending orders, some of the indicators that I use, and the free indicators, they're available on the website, rickreaganfx.com. And I also teach risk management and trading news. It's a basic foundational course, about 10 videos, and that's absolutely free. If you're interested in that, you can just click on the free course, and it takes you to Telegram, and I'll add you to the group. It's password protected, so you gotta ask for the password. Hello, AIF. Good to see you here. Uh, Ali Ali FX. Nigeria, hey, welcome from Africa. Great to see you here. Thank you for joining. Don't think I've seen you before. So just put my link to my website in there, and that's where you can find the free course, the basic foundational course that I offer. And you need to telegram me if you want the password. It's password protected. And also you'll find the free indicators. Oh, you're trading gold now. Good. Okay. Have you taken a trade today? The market just opened. This is what we call the Asian Pacific market, and it's just now opened about 25 minutes ago, and it's starting to move down. So you took a trade. You went short, I presume. And just to give you my, oh, you went short on the 15-minute. Okay. Where did you put your stop loss? What price did you put your stop loss, if you don't mind me asking? So there's my Telegram address, at Rick Ray FX. You can message me on there, and I'll add you to my Telegram chat group. No stop loss. Well, I highly recommend that you always put a stop loss because it can turn against you. You need to have a clear risk management profile in place. You need to know exactly how much you're willing to risk. And I only risk 0.5% or 1%, no more than 1% on any trade. I prefer 0.5%. You need to know how much you're gonna risk. You see, this is turning back up now. So where are you what how much loss are you willing to take on the trade? You have to accept there will be losses. You're going to lose some trades. And you need to know before you take the trade, you need to know how much of the loss you're going to accept on the trade. You see, this is why I'm not taking this trade. Normally, if this breaks below the trend line, I would go short. But my stop loss would be up above this red line here. For me, that would be about a 300 pip stop loss. Well, that's too much. I'm not willing to risk that much, so I'm not taking the trade. If it was over in here and it broke the trend line here and I had maybe a 100 pip stop loss, then I would take the trade. I know how much I'm willing to risk. Before I take the trade, I know where my stop loss will be. You need to be sure and always use a stop loss. You put your stop loss on the top. Okay, I don't know exactly where that is, but okay, at least you have a stop loss. Good. And don't move it. Once you put that stop loss there, leave it in place. And if it does hit the stop loss, well, you accept the loss. And then you look for another trade setup. I only traded gold in the entire year of 2025. It's the only thing I trade right now. I'm looking at adding maybe one more asset. I might trade either platinum or oil this year. I haven't decided yet. But I only traded gold last year, so I know it pretty well. I know what it does. I expected this move. And last night in the New York session, I told everybody, I said, I'm really quite confident that gold has taken all of the liquidity. We've seen this downward move for 2 days, and that it will start to move back up to higher prices. And when New York opened, that's exactly what they did. They started moving up to higher prices. I've just watched it for so long, and I've seen it so many times. You build a relationship with the instrument. Don't try to trade, you know, 5 or 6 different currency pairs and gold and silver. You can't focus on that many charts. You know, things go in different directions and going different directions for different reasons. There's no way in the world that you can become a good trader focusing on that many different items. Really glad to have you here, Ali. I appreciate your comments. I do have some clients from Nigeria. I live in Thailand. Telegram is at Rick Ray FX. I use for most of my messaging, and I have several Telegram groups. Did I type that correctly? At Rick Ray FF. I don't know why you can't find it, but I live in Thailand. I have several clients here from Nigeria. They live in Thailand, and I also have some clients in Nigeria that I've never met because I also teach online. I have clients in South Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, Ghana, several countries in Africa. Well, you're in profit. That's good. Now you need to decide, will you let the profit run? And what I do, if I was in this trade, I'm not in the trade, but if I was in the trade, after it moves 100 pips, then I would put my stop loss below break even. And that way you protect yourself from any loss. But don't move your stop loss below break even too soon because gold can come back, hit stop loss, and then keep going the right direction. You need to give it some breathing room. I usually will let mine move 100 pips in the right direction, and then I'll put the stop loss below break even. Let me go over to Telegram and see if I can find a link that you can click. Um, oh, there you go. I see you just found it, Ali. I'm going to add you as a contact. Good, you found it. Okay. Now this as it's come down here, gold, we see that this is our blue line is the pivot point for the day. Let me start sharing that again. Okay. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a interruption to the internet. Sometimes it's not quite so good. Oh, there we go. Okay, had a look at your chart there, Ali. It's a rising wedge, and you got a couple of other indicators on there. I'm not sure what they are. If that strategy works for you, then stick with it. Stay with the strategy. Trust the strategy. If you've had success with it, that's great. Everybody has a different, little bit different strategy. You need to find a strategy that works for you and stay with it. Okay, guys, whoever's watching here, I want to let you know that I'm going to close out for now. It's been about 40 minutes that I've been taking a trade today. Not yet. I'll need to let this play out and see how it's going to work out during the Asian session. Doesn't look like I'll be taking a trade in the Asian session, and then wait for the London market and see how that's going to unfold. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you all the best of success with trading today. And TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. All right, don't forget about the very, very high impact news that's coming out just before the US session today. That will be a big impact on the movement of currencies and commodities. Be sure and be watching that. Be careful with your trades. I will see you again in the New York session. That opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I usually come in right just when the Wall Street opens. So I'll see you again later. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and don't forget to like and share.